Holy nostalgia trip, Batman. Right, that was probably the worst Burt Ward impression you will ever hear. Hello everyone and welcome back. So recently, well, you'll know I'm a massive Batman fan, and recently Batman, it's been going down that dark and gritty road, and I'm fine with that. That's who the character is. I love that iteration of the character. He's a dark, gritty character, and he's got his dark stories, and he's the Dark Knight. That's what you expect. But there was a time when Batman was less so, and he was more campy, and he had a Robin, and he had his Joker, who was more than a psychopath. He was an actual clown who just wanted to goof with people, and that was what the 1966 Batman Adam West Burt Ward show was all about. And I was very excited when I found that they were bringing the show back for an animated movie. Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders. Like, I heard Adam West was coming back to Batman. I was like, how is that gonna work? Adam West's too old to play the character now. They can't just throw him on the screen. And then I found out it was animated, and I was like, oh, they can do a lot with that. And by God, they do a lot with that. I'll start off by saying Adam West does as good a job as you remember him doing. At first, it's kind of weird to see Bruce Wayne looking kind of like a young man, but hearing Adam West's old man voice, and it was like, it's kind of weird, but you get used to it very, very quickly. And he just does such a good job, and he has so much fun. Like, there's, this video will contain minor spoilers, so if you want to see the movie and you haven't seen it yet, then just be aware of that. And this is one of them. So there is a moment in the movie where Adam West becomes, or Batman becomes, evil Batman, and it was amazing. You can see how much fun Adam West is having playing these two different Batman. One's the evil Batman, and you've got your regular old goofy Batman, and it was awesome. I loved seeing that. But the show was completely stolen by Burt Ward. He is just the best. He still sounds like a teenager somehow. He does such a good job. You know, you remember your old Robin quotes like gee willikers, Batman. He does all of that, and he does it so fucking well. He is just the best part of this movie, hands down. Also, Julie Newmar returns as Catwoman, who, again, does a really, really good job. She's the sort of, not the Catwoman that we have nowadays, like Anne Hathaway's, the grumpy sort of, how moody sort of gritty Catwoman. It's the seductive, sexy Catwoman that we remember, but now she's played by an old lady. It's just how it works. And you've got that back and forth relationship between Batman and Catwoman. And I love the Penguin in this movie. He is like just this old dirty pervert, and he was just so good. And every time he talks, he makes these like bird noises. He's like, meh, 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 I'm the Penguin, meh, meh. And it was great. I loved it. I love that they just brought back all of the original things that we remember from each of these characters. The only thing that disappointed me about the villains is that the Joker doesn't have his painted over mustache that Cesar Romero used to have. That would have been such a good thing to remember Cesar Romero by, because just imagine the Joker in animated form still with a mustache that's painted white. I would have loved that. That would have been amazing. But unfortunately that doesn't happen. But the story in this thing is just the most ridiculous thing in the best possible way. It involves all of Batman's famous villains, so Catwoman, the Joker, Penguin, the Riddler, and they all reform and they reunite, and they're on live TV, and Batman's like, oh, we have to stop these people, and they do, but then they end up somehow in space. So there's this space station being run by these villains, and you've got Batman and Robin in these spacesuits. And what was just so funny was that Batman and Robin were wearing these spacesuits, and just characters like the villains weren't wearing these suits. And there's one part where the Joker opens up the airlock and Catwoman's coming out of it, and she's wearing no spacesuit, and Batman is, and it was just these are the goofy things that make me love the 1966 Batman. It was just the best thing. So obviously, I'm not gonna complain about the continuity issues there, but I love little things like that just make it just the most ridiculous possible thing. Now, I say it's the best Batman movie I've seen all year purely because The Killing Joke, it had a disappointing first 20 minutes, and Batman v Superman is just the most disappointing film ever made. So this film is the best we've seen Batman in a very long time, probably since The Dark Knight Rises. But that being said, this has a very funny quote about The Dark Knight Rises, which goes something along the lines of Batman's trying to get Catwoman to turn herself in. And she's like, I'll turn myself in if we can like escape to this cafe in Paris and just sip tea together. And I was like, yeah, that's the ending to The Dark Knight Rises. I know what they're doing. And then Robin says a quote where it's something like, wholly anticlimactic ending or something like that, and it was great. They ripped the shit out of previous incarnations of Batman, and they know what they're doing. They know they're ridiculous, they know they're dumb, they know they're stupid, and they know that the TV show was stupid. I mean, Adam West has said that this is like an unofficial fourth series of the show, and I can see that happening. I would love to see more movies from these guys, and I know they're doing one maybe next year, I don't know, with William Shatner as Two-Face, which just sounds amazing. But I can't wait for that. I cannot wait to see. Hopefully I get to see the next one in cinemas, because this one came out for a one-day release in the UK. I didn't get to go because my stupid workplace just fucking hates me. So I had to work and I couldn't see this in cinemas, but I did manage to see it, and I have no regrets about watching this movie. It is just the best. One of the best just DC animated movies I've seen. One of the funniest movies I've seen this year. It really delivers. It doesn't disappoint. As a reunion of Batman and Robin from the '66 show, it does everything it promises it will do. The villains are over the top. The plots are over the top. Adam West and Burt Ward clearly have a lot of fun making this movie, especially Burt Ward. I cannot give him enough credit for how good he was in this thing. And I heard they're doing like a crossover with the original Wonder Woman from the 70s or 60s, I think it was the 70s, and this Batman show, and I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that in animated form. I know they're doing it in the comics, but I want to see it in animated form because that would just be the best. It would have just so many like ridiculous cheesy jokes. It'd be just ridiculous. So if they can like redo what they've done here, I will be more than happy to see more from these characters and these actors. Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders, it's absolutely just brilliant. Highly recommend it. It gave me the feels, the nostalgia feels. It made me laugh. It didn't make me cry. I'm not gonna say that. Maybe with laughter. But yeah, it really just makes you feel that sense of nostalgia that you want a 66 Batman production to make you feel. And I highly recommend everyone check this out because you're not going to get a better Batman movie this year. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys soon.